Thank you, Mr Chair. And I was, like many members, listening to this debate in my office and felt compelled to come down and take a call after hearing national member after national member decrying the fact that they've just been misunderstood on this piece of legislation. Well, I understood what the Honourable Paula Bennett and the Right Honourable John Key meant when they said that this was to give beneficiaries a kick in the pants. I understood them very well. And what the national members don't like is that we've called this what it is. We've called a dog whistle, because that's all this piece of legislation is. This piece of legislation won't do anything to create jobs. It won't do anything to help beneficiaries back into work. The only reason this piece of legislation was brought into the House was because it was feeling the pressure, and they thought, let's trot out that old favourite of beneficiary bashing. It's worked well for us in the past, it's deflected attention in the past, and I'm sure it will work again. So they came out, they said, we're going to give beneficiaries a kick up the backside. But you know what? New Zealanders didn't respond in the way they'd hoped, because New Zealanders know that there are no jobs out there. And they can see the unfairness of saying to people who want to work and who are on a benefit, we're going to punish you for the fact that we've done nothing to stop the increasing trend in unemployment. And in fact, further than that, because if you're really serious about getting people off a benefit and back into work, you would look at all the impediments that beneficiaries face. Because we all see these people coming through our offices all the time, people who desperately want to work and can't. Sure, there's going to be a couple of bad apples. There have been bad apples in this place as well. Not every situation is perfect, and not everyone is going to be perfect. But the overwhelming majority of people that I see coming through my office are desperate and they want to work. Interestingly enough, they can't get in to see their own MP, so maybe that's why the National Party is so detached from reality on this issue, is because they're not actually speaking to the people who are the most affected by unemployment and who want to get into work the most. But instead of reducing those barriers, the National Party have thrown up many, many more. Many, many more. Because it's hard to get back into work if you're a solo parent and you face childcare costs that you can't afford. It's hard to get back into work if you can't get your kids into early childhood education. So what did this government do? They cut the funding for early childhood education. How is that going to help beneficiaries get back into work? They cut the training incentive allowance, which was an allowance specifically designed to reduce those costs that stop beneficiaries getting back into work. And all the government's own reports told them that in terms of value for money, this was one of the best policies that existed. Even Treasury said this is one of the best policies that exists to get people from welfare back into work. And Paula Bennett knows that because she used the training incentive allowance herself when she was a solo mum to get back into work, and good on her. So what did she do? She cut it. Adult and community education, night classes, one of the biggest pathways back into skills training for beneficiaries, and what's happened? Disappeared, gone. A Kiwi institution destroyed overnight by an education minister. So why is the government introducing a piece of legislation, and we've heard from, when it was announced it was kicking beneficiaries in the pants. When the minister spoke in the House now apparently it doesn't do anything, and this is all just hype because the bill actually doesn't do anything at all. And I say to the minister, well, it can't be both. Either it's the kick in the pants that the government said it was going to be for beneficiaries, or it does nothing, which is what the minister and members of the National Party are telling us in the House tonight. And this is what this government does, because the Prime Minister John Key leads by example on this. He goes around the country telling people what they want to hear. So when he needs to use the redneck dog whistle thing, he does that. But when he's standing in front of a group of social service providers, of people who work with beneficiaries, of people who are unemployed, all of a sudden it's a softer face. But we cannot have that from our Prime Minister and from our government. They cannot be all things to all people. Either they're kicking beneficiaries in the pants, which is appealing to part of their voting bloc, or they're not doing anything with this other than being apparently touchy-feely and really, really valuing beneficiaries.